Welcome to Breakup Cheater, where ordinary days twist into moments you can't take back. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and settle in. Today's story begins with a friendship, but it doesn't end the same way. When I was 23, I thought my life was neatly lined up. I had a steady job, a small but comfortable apartment, and my closest friend, Ethan, who had been like a brother to me since high school. We'd been through everything together. Breakups, late-night road trips, even helping each other move at ridiculous hours. Our friendship was built on trust. We didn't keep secrets from each other. Or at least that's what I believed. It started on an ordinary Wednesday evening. Ethan came over with a six-pack, dropped onto my couch, and after some small talk, casually asked if his sister Leah could stay at my place for a couple of weeks. "She's between apartments," he said. "The one she was renting had a plumbing disaster. She just needs somewhere until she gets her new place." I hesitated, not because I disliked Leah. In fact, the opposite. Leah was different. I'd only met her a handful of times at family barbecues or holiday parties, but every time I found myself watching her a little too long. She was sharp, quick with comebacks, and carried herself like she knew the effect she had on people. Still, I said yes. Ethan was my best friend. Helping his sister was the least I could do. The first night. Leah arrived the next day with 2 suitcases, a duffel bag, and an apologetic smile. "I'll try not to be in your way," she said, glancing around my small apartment. I had only one bedroom, so I offered to take the couch while she used my bed. She laughed and said, "It's fine, I can crash on the couch." But after some back and forth, she ended up taking the room. That night, lying on the couch, I could hear the faint sound of her moving around. Drawers opening, hangers scraping. I told myself it was just background noise, but there was something strangely intimate about knowing she was in my bed, in my space. A shift. The first week was easy enough. She worked during the day, I worked evenings, so we didn't cross paths much. But the little moments stuck with me. Like when she made coffee in the morning and hummed to herself. Or when she came out of the shower with her hair damp and her sweatshirt slipping off one shoulder. She wasn't trying to do anything. At least I don't think she was. But my awareness of her grew every day. We started talking more. She'd stay up late watching shows in the living room, and I'd end up joining her. We'd share snacks, laugh at the same scenes, and sometimes talk until the sun came up without realizing it. Thing was, Leah didn't treat me like her brother's friend anymore. She leaned in when she spoke, looked me in the eye a little too long, and sometimes her knee would brush against mine without her moving it away. The night everything changed. It was a Friday. I came home earlier than usual and found Leah sitting on my bed, scrolling through her phone. She looked up and smiled in a way that made my pulse skip. "You don't mind, do you?" she asked, gesturing to the bed. "It's just more comfortable than the couch." I told her it was fine, but when I turned to leave she said, "Hey, stay a bit. I feel like we haven't really talked today." So I did. I sat beside her, meaning to keep it light. But the conversation drifted, from her work to relationships, to how she'd always thought I was different from other guys. Her voice dropped when she said it, and I couldn't decide if she meant it as a compliment or something more. The air between us felt charged. She was close enough that I could see the faint freckles across her nose. Then a knock shattered it. Ethan. The fallout. He'd stopped by unannounced to check on his sister. The moment he saw us, sitting too close, the awkward silence hanging in the room, his expression changed. He didn't say anything at first, just looked between us. After Leah left the room, Ethan closed the door and said quietly, "Don't. She's my sister." I told him nothing had happened, which was technically true. But he didn't look convinced. From that night, his visits became less friendly and more like surveillance. Leah picked up on it too. She started avoiding long conversations when he was around. But when we were alone, things went back to that quiet tension, almost like we were both aware of a line we hadn't crossed, but might. The end of the arrangement. 2 weeks turned into a month. Leah's new apartment was finally ready. The night before she left, we stayed up late again, sitting on the couch with a half-finished bottle of wine. She thanked me for letting her stay. Then she leaned in. Not a kiss, but close enough that I could feel her breath when she whispered, "Things don't have to be over, you know." I didn't answer. Couldn't. My loyalty to Ethan clashed with everything I'd been feeling for weeks. The next morning she was gone before I woke up. No note. Just the faint scent of her shampoo in my pillow. Ethan and I stayed friends, but it was never quite the same. And every now and then, when my phone buzzes and I see her name, I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't stopped myself that night. Sometimes, the hardest lines to draw are the ones between loyalty and desire. If this story kept you hooked, subscribe to Blood Moon Broadcast, turn on notifications, and join me next time for another tale where choices change everything.